afternoon. I'm Lottie Spurlock, Director of Equity here in Loudoun County Public Schools.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tracy Townsend, and I am the Supervisor of Equity for Loudoun County Public Schools.
Dr. Townsend and I are super excited about this opportunity to have some special guests here who we are trying to feature in the spotlight. This month is March. We know it as Equity in Education Month, and it's also Women's History Month. And so if you have not had the pleasure to meet these beautiful sisters, you will this afternoon. I'd like to introduce to you Shreya Venkat and Isha Venkat. Shreya is a Loudoun County graduate, and this has been her freshman year at Georgetown University. And Isha is a current sophomore at Broad Run High School. Welcome, ladies.
Hi. How are you?
Great to have you all here. So before we jump in, of course, Dr. Townsend and I have some planned questions that we cannot wait to ask of you. We want to hear a little bit from you. Can you tell us a little bit more about who you are and how you're showing up in this space today?
Yeah, so as you said, I'm a freshman at Georgetown University, majoring in global health.
And I'm a sophomore at Broad Run High School. And 5 years ago, we both co-founded NEST4US, which is a nonprofit that is dedicated to providing volunteer and leadership opportunities to those in need around our community.
Yeah, and in our free time, I guess we can start with that, is we play travel soccer. We're both third-degree black belts. We dance, and we're excited to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity and for inviting us. We're so honored to be talking about two very important issues, equity in not only education, but in society as a whole, and then also Women's History Month. We're proud to be female leaders in the nonprofit world, and we're excited to be talking about our experiences and hopefully inspire other people to give back in their own communities. So yeah.
Love it, ladies. Right there, right at the end there, you were saying to inspire others. We're hoping that this opportunity for us to have some dialogue will do just that. And so I have to admit, when I met you all earlier, I was just really almost like fangirling because I was so excited to meet you, because I've seen NEST4US on Twitter. I've seen you all in the spotlight, and really believe that you're not just nationally, probably internationally known by now, because you all have had some major spotlight moments in public media. And so it is wonderful that we can say you're part of LCPS, you're right here in the Loudoun community, and we can have some conversation with you all. So we're going to jump right in with a couple of our planned questions, and looking forward to the dialogue today. So you started sharing a little bit about NEST4US. Tell us again why it was created. What was the reason? What led to it? And as you already mentioned, a little bit on equity. Tell us, as you think deeply about the goals for NEST4US, would you say the focus is more on diversity, equity, or inclusion?
Yeah, so initially we noticed 3 key issues in our community that we wanted to tackle. So they were food insecurity, the lack of volunteering with a passion, and diversity and inclusion. So when we first started volunteering, like very young, we noticed so many homeless people who didn't have access to food and 3 meals a day. And we also noticed that there was so much food going to waste in our community. So we put 2 and 2 together, and we decided to create our first program of NEST4US, which is called NEST Nurtures. And that focuses on reducing food waste and feeding the hungry. So kind of like a bridge between those 2 issues that we noticed in our community. And another thing that we saw was that a lot of people were doing community service solely for like hours or some other incentive, which we really believe that defeats the purpose of like volunteering and really just giving back with your whole heart in the first place, which is why we decided to expand from NEST Nurtures and create more programs so that we allow people of all ages and backgrounds to give back and serve in a way that interests them, in a way that they're passionate about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to touch on your second question about the goals of NEST4US, so our organization is very rooted with several core values, definitely kindness, generosity, selflessness, And then also diversity, equity, and inclusivity. For us, those are of equal importance. And our overall goal is to really just provide an equal opportunity for anyone, regardless of their age, their background, their gender, whatever it may be. Just give them an opportunity to make a meaningful difference in their communities, because everyone has the power to do so. And so that's why our volunteers really have the ability to choose what they can do with our organization, depending on what they're passionate about helping, like Isha was saying, doing something that interests them in the community. So maybe a volunteer wants to send a note of encouragement, or feed the homeless, or maybe create a care package, tutor kids, whatever it is, there's something for everyone. And that's really what we believe drives the success, is that equity aspect, because we found that bringing people, diverse groups of people together, allows for different perspectives and different opinions, different viewpoints. You get to hear from all different kinds of people. And so that way you're not really excluding anyone's voice from being heard. And that really sparks those equitable solutions that benefit the greater good. And so that's something that's very, very core in our organization.
Awesome. I love that. There were several things that I heard you all say. And so I also am noticing it's very difficult to probably say, hey, we only focus on diversity or equity or inclusion. It sounds like it's a full package opportunity. One of the things I heard you say was really about making a meaningful difference. And so I'm thinking about our LCPS mission, which is to empower all students to make meaningful contributions to their world. And so a lot of times people think world, like, how will I impact the world? Well, it starts in our world. So we appreciate the thought behind and the why behind NEST4US.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We are going to go on to our next question. And as we stated earlier, March is Women's History Month and Equity in Education Month in Virginia. So will you talk a little bit about the experiences that you have had as young women of color, as you have built your business, as you built NEST4US, and then how have these experiences affected the work that you do around NEST4US? And I guess, Shreya, why don't we start with you this time?
Yeah, sure. So we really believe that showing other people of color that they can do anything that they put their minds to is so crucial. And so through NEST4US, we're able to make sure to provide these volunteer and leadership opportunities, like I said, for all ages and all backgrounds through our various programs. And we really utilize social media because we know technology is such a powerful tool, especially nowadays where we're all virtual. We really want to kind of be that voice on social media, that positive voice to serve as advocates for positive change and promote diversity and inclusion by welcoming people of all ages and backgrounds to our volunteer family. And we really feel that civic and social engagement is a superpower that can be truly harnessed to move issues forward and solve those pressing societal issues.
Yeah, and looking at our personal lives, I mean, we've both also experienced many forms of discrimination because of our race and ethnicity. So we come from a traditional Indian background with a rich heritage. You know, our parents raised us with Hindu beliefs and kept us really closely connected with our culture by integrating those like ethnic aspects and celebrations into our daily lives. But many times at school and in our community, you know, we would be discriminated against because of who we are and what we looked like. As young girls, we were told that it was wrong to be proud of our duality, of what makes us us, our Indian heritage and our American home. And that's not even the worst part. I think the worst part was that we were not the only ones that really felt that way. I mean, millions of people across the world really have faced judgment and scorn for simply just being who they are, and that's not okay. And during the pandemic, the discrimination has only increased. I mean,
yeah, and if you look on the news, even recently, with Asian Americans continue to face even more prejudice because of the Asian origins of the virus. I mean, just like hate crimes towards Asian Americans, not only Asian Americans, all types of minority groups, those have just skyrocketed, and that's simply unacceptable. That's at bottom line unacceptable. And so one of the personal experiences we have faced in regards to the pandemic So a little quick story. So we were actually at an airport with our family. We were about to go on vacation, and we were just waiting in line. I think we were picking up breakfast or something, and there was a woman behind us who was really just telling people standing in line with us to keep their distance from our family because we were from Asia and we would make them sick, because that's been happening a lot. This is a very common thing that we've heard and we've actually experienced ourselves. And so really when someone judges you based on things you can't control, like the color of your skin or what background you come from, it's really hard not to feel angry or hurt. But over the years, through our education, through our service, we've really learned how important it is now that even with all this negativity in the world, to join together and really look at people's differences as strengths that unify us as humans, rather than things that set us apart from each other. Because at the end of the day, we're all human, like we're all the same. So we should really treat each other like that.
Yeah, looking at the people that we serve, I mean, there's no form to complete to receive a food from us, a kind note, or even a smile. I mean, there's no requirement that our volunteers need to do to have to be a part of our organization, except for, you know, a giving heart and a positive attitude, of course. And just this inclusive system of service has really allowed us to, as Shreya mentioned in the beginning, to inspire others to follow their passions and harness that power of community to create lasting change and change the world. I mean, all of us coming together of all ages, backgrounds, that's really a beautiful thing. And having an equal opportunity to make a difference in causes that you believe in is really the first step that we believe to create lasting peace.
Yeah, and I just want to add a little bit about female empowerment, because it is also Women's History Month. So that's gender equality is one of the other issues that we strive to tackle through NEST4US. And so we've witnessed in many places women of color are being discriminated against and aren't given the opportunity to follow their passions or pursue their goals. And they're told, like, oh, you can't do this. You're a girl. You're a woman. Like, you need to be a man to do this. Like, that's not okay to us, right? Because we really want to be those role models and emphasize the power of not only youth voices, but female voices to bring about positive change. And so, like Isha was saying, embracing diversity of everyone on this planet is absolutely critical to building a better, kinder future. And empowering girls, I mean, start young. That ensuring that young women are given an equal opportunity to share their views, share their ideas with the world. I mean, their creative, innovative solutions to different societal issues, and more importantly, their voice. They're such powerful tools of change. So being able to harness that and unleash that to the world is super, super important.
Wow, that was a lot to take in. Thank you so much for sharing. You shared so much there, and I heard you really, highlight the youth or the voice of the youth. And we definitely want to hear our young people. I heard you highlight the voice of women, and women have so much to offer to our society. And I heard you uplift the voice of women of color as well. So you did that so well, and just sharing your experiences for those people listening to this, that is going to be so helpful, and that is going to matter, and that is going to resonate because people will learn from your experiences. So thank you right there. And finally, I just have to add, you talked about being a positive voice, and that's what we need today in this world. So thank you for sharing that. I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Spurlock now.
Awesome. So many great nuggets you all did share in that. And one of the other things, just building off of what you shared, Dr. Townsend, I heard Shreya say that we're all the same. And I took that as she further unpacked that as we have the same basic needs. We show up in this space, and it really forces us to look at our humanity. And I then heard you talk about the intersectionality of being a female, being a woman, and also making sure that there are opportunities and there are access points, especially for women of color. So we greatly appreciate that. So our next question, we're going to start off with you, Isha. And the question really has you to think about a memorable time. It's going to take it to school, and you're right here as a current LCPS student really think about a memorable time during your educational career so far. Tell us about that and why that experience stands out for you.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned this earlier too, but really ever since we were little, like giving back was something that was so like staple in our lives and something that we did so often, not just in our community, but also in our schools. And I remember like one of my earliest memories is like when I was super little, I think I was in like Dominion Trail, maybe my elementary school, and my mom would bring us along to like volunteer at like different PTA events in school and just getting exposed to that with my family and friends. It was just so nice to give back with them. It was such a fun and memorable experience for me, and that really doing that like every year was just like seeing all their happy and grateful faces. That really motivated me to keep on giving back and keep on finding opportunities to make a difference and in doing it with my family and friends too. So definitely. Our education has also, provided us that strong academic foundation too, but also exposed us to service learning and giving back even at a young age. So that was something that was really important to me.
Awesome. The second part to that is, it's not always as easy and as glorious as it may seem. Can you share with us a time that you were met with resistance or there was a challenge that you had to overcome?
Yeah, I think in terms of challenges we've overcome, we already really talked about like the discrimination and things like that, but we've also had people look down on our abilities to like achieve certain goals that we knew that we were more than capable of accomplishing. I mean, when we decided to start our own nonprofit, we saw a different kind of discrimination based on age, as many organizations really would doubt the ability of youth to make a true difference in the community. After all, when we first started NEST4US, I was only 10 years old and Shreya was 13. I mean, how could we make an impact, right? But as organizations and schools began really seeing the impact and the drive and the passion that we had through our different programs, they started reaching out to us for volunteers and instead of the other way around. And really those experiences and those challenges have made us stronger and have motivated us to promote inclusivity and diversity and encourage that mutual respect and understanding between members of our community. So we really took that challenge and we turned it into something tangible, and we kept running.
Yeah, as one of our strengths, is one of our main strengths is really making sure that none of our volunteers face that, or we try as hard as we can for our volunteers to never face the same discrimination we did when we first started, because we know when you're given the chance, people can do wonders. So
I love it. You all are turning obstacles into opportunities. I love that. So what about you, Shreya? Same question. Can you share a memorable experience in education?
Yeah, so
you're a freshman now, so it could be high school or even a younger grade or college experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like Isha was saying, that definitely is one of my memorable times, as well as volunteering at those PTA events, at those childhood volunteer experiences. But a couple more that I can think of is one, getting our friends and our teachers involved in our service projects. That has been huge for us. The school community has been such a huge support to us, and we're so grateful for all that. The principals, administrators, the teachers, staff members, everyone, right? And having them come to our projects and supporting us, whether it be making sandwiches, making care packages, it's so fun to see, right? Just how excited they are to come support us. We're so excited that they're coming, right? So it's just kind of bridging academics with service, two things that we're both absolutely passionate about. So I think that's definitely something that we both share as being very memorable.
Volunteer clubs.
And yeah, that was the second one I was going to say, the volunteer clubs. That has been both an eye-opening experience for me, but then also a kind of connecting experience. On a little bit more on that is with the volunteer clubs. When we started first joining those clubs, like Key Club, Interact, NHS, clubs like that, right? Those clubs really emphasize the importance of hours, and so that's really where we noticed that importance that was put on hours, and where we really noticed, oh, we've been volunteering since we were little, and we'd always been doing it because we enjoyed it, because we were passionate about it. But then we got to school and we were exposed to the whole hour system. our brains kind of started clicking like, oh, well, they can still record their hours. That's great and all. It's always great to keep track of that. But maybe let's push more of that passion, get more of that, like, oh, volunteering's fun. Let's do it for the sake of helping people. And so we've really been able to involve kids from all different grades and all different schools from all different clubs. And that's been something really, really special to us, is giving them the exposure of, okay, I might come into this thinking I'm going to do this for hours, but I'll leave out of it going, I actually enjoyed what I did in the community, and I will keep doing it. Yeah, even after I graduate, I'll keep doing it and continue doing it, not only for those hours, but because it was fun to do. I made new friends. I got to help new people, all of that. So that's really, really memorable for us and really special. So, yeah.
Wow, that what I'm hearing you all talk about is just the power of impact and being able to know your why in something. And that's deep. That was like a mic drop moment. Thank you.
Of course.
All right, Dr. Townsend, I'm going to toss it back over to you. I think you're on the next question.
All right, great. Thank you, Mrs. Spurlock. And I will just say it is just wonderful watching both of your faces light up when you talk about your experiences around helping others and giving back. We definitely see your passion. So that in itself is just, oh, I love it. So thank you. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and go to the next question that we have for you. And we actually wanted to ask you about the role that education has played in your life and your decision making. And ladies, you may have shared parts of that with us already, because I could really tell that education it has really played a significant role in your life. Feel free to add on to that. And also, we'd like to know, and here's our time to recognize maybe some of our LCPS colleagues. We'd like to know, is there a specific educator that you will highlight that has positively impacted your life? And I don't know, Isha, why don't we start with you this time?
Sure. So first off, we are so incredibly blessed for the amazing education that we've received through Loudoun County Public Schools. I mean, one of our favorite parts of the style of learning is really the emphasis on collaborative hands-on learning, involving discussions and engaging activities and things like that. And that's really what helped us learn a lot through the years that we've been in LCPS. And also, since we were young, our parents really instilled in us the importance of focusing on education and making sure that we try our very best in school and putting in our 110% effort into our schoolwork. Both of us, we love learning a lot and love going to school. So, and it's still super fun to this day and really interesting because, every day we learn new things and it's just a really invigorating experience for us. As for a specific educator that's positively impacted our life, we've actually had the great honor of partnering with so many different LCPS schools and even schools beyond LCPS too. So specific ones I can name are, we've been connected with a lot of the administrators and teachers from, of course, our home schools of Dominion Trail Elementary, Farmwell Station Middle School, and Broadrun High School, as well as other schools like Mill Run Elementary, Wax Pool, Rosalie Carter, Discovery, Moorfield, Brambleton Middle School, Stonehill Middle School, so many amazing
the list
schools.
Goes on.
That we've just been so honored to receive such great support, and just it's been amazing to host volunteer events with them and so much more. So yeah,
it's really, really hard to find. Just you can't just name one, because we've been influenced and impacted by so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of just go with all of LCPS, because each one has given us unique opportunities, whether it be able to speak to different classes, do service projects. We've done service projects in school. We did one at Brambleton in honor of 9/11. Maybe we provide volunteers for the Monster Mash, exactly, the Monster Mash, or whatever it might be, school dances, all of that. So just all these different types of experiences.
We do food rescues at schools too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just having these opportunities is something that we're so grateful for, because really school's where we start. That's where we really, really started. And one of the main places where we noticed that food was going to waste in schools, and now being able to rescue that food and give it to people in need, right? Starting from the source and then helping that source has been so impactful for us. So very, very hard to pick just one educator or one specific school because I'm influenced by a lot of them.
No, that's amazing, and that's okay, and that says a lot about the educators in our division. So, but just thank you for sharing. Mrs. Spurlock, I think I'm going to pass it over to you.
All right. I think for this question, I'm just going to read it, and we'll see. We'll just ask. We'll see who's going to grab it first. We'll just ask if one of you respond to this one. So we're thinking of NEST4US, and you shared with us your goals and your mission and really all of your early thinking behind it. What advice would you give to a young person wanting to either start their own business or nonprofit? Just think about some of the lessons that you've learned. So who wants to take that?
I guess I'll take that one.
All right.
For us, we really believe that finding a cause that you're passionate about, helping, and then spreading awareness about it is like the first step towards getting more involved in your community. For us, taking that first step was so crucial, and it really didn't matter that the solutions seemed miles away. I mean, think about like hunger, food waste; these solutions seem like miles and miles ahead. But really, we forget about the small things, right? Initiating awareness, it really does spark change and does make a true difference. Would be like reaching out to other organizations and businesses on social media. I mean, technology, right? It connects all of us. It's so powerful. And there's no limit to the amount of people that you can partner with or talk to or anything or network with. And so just keep going for it. I mean, even if you face rejection a few times, that's okay, because when one door closes, 3 more, 4 more, 5 more open in its wake. So just keep trying, and it'll everything will work out. Don't worry. And the best part is once you connect with that one organization, that one door open or individual, that opens up to more opportunities for collaboration as well. And that opens up to more. And it's like this huge ripple of mutual connection, which is so great. So we always like to say, keep an open mind and an open heart, and you'll be good to go. And don't be afraid to reach out to people. I mean, there's so many different service-based organizations and businesses out there who are doing really good things in the community, and they almost always need some sort of support. So you can always donate money, donate time, donate food items, whatever they need, and you can support them that way too. Really, continued quality education is really one of the main societal issues that we strive to tackle. So providing academic and emotional support as well as resources to help other people succeed as well could be another way that people can get involved in the community and help others also get involved as well.
Yeah, so like you're saying, our Nest Tutors program has been actually flourishing a lot during the pandemic, especially because it is virtual. It involves technology. So being able to connect those people around the world, not only through education, but through culture, because you get to learn so much about other people's cultures. I believe we've connected people from over 14 different countries, which has been absolutely incredible for us, just because we ourselves have learned so much about different cultures, and we're allowing other people to have that exposure too. Despite not being able to get on a plane and go fly to that country, you're still able to learn, how's the pandemic there? How are people adapting through things there? How's school going there? I mean, you learn so much from just listening and talking with other people. And so that's been really special for us.
Yeah, and we've had so many young people get involved with that specific program. And just looking at that, it really makes us feel really hopeful about the future and all of that. And because we see so many young people finding innovative solutions to current issues and stepping up for what they believe in. And, as Gen Z, we use a lot of technology and digital education, and that can be used for good. That can be used to get better access to news, help us stay updated on events, spread awareness, like I mentioned earlier, and we can use our voice to really uplift those who need it most, and never underestimate the small actions, really, they do make the biggest differences in people's lives. And according to us, everybody does have the power to make a difference.
That's kind of like our mini mantra.
Yeah.
Everyone has the power to make a difference, because that truly is, and will always be the truth. Yeah.
Fantastic. I think it actually leads into our last question, Dr. Townsend. So it's all yours.
All right, thank you. So it does, many young people in LCPS desire to be helpful and engaged and active in ensuring equity, like in their schools, in their own schools, and also within our division. What advice would you give to these students in LCPS?
Yeah, so something we strongly believe in is that what you learn at a young age tends to stick with you for the rest of your life. So getting youth and teens involved in the community early on is so crucial, because, like Isha was saying, youth are the hope of the future, and they truly have the power to change the world. Especially the world they're going to inherit someday. And so as a teen-led nonprofit, we really want to show people that you don't have to be an adult, you don't have to have a job, have any special skills, or even be a superhero to make a positive impact on someone's life. And there's also a common misconception that only big actions can make a true impact. People think you have to do some grand gesture in the community in order to make an impact, or whatever it might be, right? But we really feel like the small acts, those random acts of kindness, that smile, that compliment, whatever it might be, those are the ones, when multiplied by millions and millions of people, that's what's going to transform the world in a positive way. And so we really feel like the future of community development lies in the involvement of every individual to help out wherever they can. Just that individualized effort in community and service, especially in the midst of this pandemic, whether that be donating your money, your time, your knowledge, even just a little bit can help to make a difference in the community. And so, yeah, every little bit of good helps in some way, whether you think it does or not. It's going to make a difference. If it doesn't impact a bunch of people, it'll at least impact one. So thinking small will lead to bigger ripples of kindness.
I think that is so important for us to walk away with. I mean, that one point you made about just do it. If you have an idea, or if you want to reach out to help someone, just do it, because helping one person is one more person that would not have received help if you hadn't stepped forward. So I think that's just important. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Shreya. Did you want to share something, Isha?
Sure. I think really for us, we really emphasize that the key to building a better future is believing in the power of youth. And like, it's Women's History Month, women too, and people of color, of course, everybody. And we're so grateful to our community for believing in us. I mean, when we first formed NEST4US, I mean, it was just us. I mean, two kids with a simple goal to help those in need in the community. And now 5 years later, our team consists of over 1,000 volunteers of all different ages and backgrounds and genders, who have all together contributed over $750,000 in valuable volunteer hours. And we just wanted to leave people who want to get involved with this. I mean, we're only 15 and 18-year-old kids from a small part of the United States, but we really believe that with the vital traits of kindness and generosity, anyone, young or old, rich or poor, anyone can make a difference.
Yeah, I wanted to add a quick point about what Nisha was saying about how when we started, we were just two kids with a simple goal. That statement stands today. Our vision has not changed from that idea of, we just want to go into our community and make it as good as we can, and we want others to do the same. Because if we're doing the same thing, right? If we're going out in the community with an open mind, open heart, going to serve people in need, and then we motivate someone else to do that, they'll go tell their friends, their families to go do the same. So automatically, you as an individual might think you're only helping one person, but that one person has a bunch of other people they know. And so that way, that message of kindness, that message of positivity goes around. And those are the kind of things that need to go viral in the world right now, because that's something that's so critical, especially with all this negativity going around. That bit of good, a little bit of hope is all all the world needs to go in the right direction. So yeah, that's what I want to leave you with.
Love it, ladies. Absolutely inspirational and so wonderful. And again, I know Dr. Townsend referenced this earlier, just the joy that you all have as you speak about this. And so this was not one of our planned questions, but I've got to reference something I was referencing at the beginning when we opened up. In my little bit of research on you all and NEST4US, I know you've been recognized on a larger platform. So are you able to share some of the ways that you've been able to be thanked or recognized for your contributions?
Yeah, I mean, every single one of the recognitions that we've gotten, it can, whether it be small or big, there's no small or big for us. For us, an opportunity is an opportunity to spread our messages of kindness, of generosity, all of those things. And it means so much to us, the support that we've received from the community. And we're just so grateful for each and every opportunity we've been given, because we really feel that if we're able to help that one person change their mindset from, oh, let me volunteer for the sake of hours or volunteer for money or whatever it might be, to, oh, I'm going to go out in the community and do something because I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
That's a success for us right there. That's what defines success for us. And so,
yeah, and we really believe that people should do something because they have a passion for it and they really love it, instead of for like impressing somebody or just to gain recognition or an award for it. And we really believe that with hard work and dedication, anyone can successfully reach their goals.
That's awesome. Well, if you had not heard of NEST4US, those of you who are watching this amazing segment, please follow them on Twitter. You want to give your Twitter handle there?
Sure. So our Twitter is @JoinNest4. We're also on Instagram, which is @JoinNest, and Facebook and YouTube, which is NEST4US. And our website is www.nest4us.org.
The website is one of our most important places to find any and all information about NEST4US, our calendar of events, program descriptions, anything like that.
Donations.
Yeah, any way to get involved, right? We would love to have each and every single person watching this to get involved, because there's a way for everyone, regardless of where they live, where they come from, to give back and join our team. So yeah, check it out.
Love it. Love your energy. And here's a movement opportunity, a movement for making a difference. So thank you all so much. Dr. Townsend, you want to wrap us up?
I would love to wrap us up. I just want to thank you both for being here with us during this Equity March and Equity Month, and also Women's History Month. We just appreciate your time, and we are so thankful for all that you are doing for our community and those communities that you are reaching outside of Loudoun County. We appreciate all the work that you're doing, and just continue doing what you're doing. Thank you, ladies, so much.
Yeah, right, thank you so much for this opportunity. We really appreciate it, and just being able to talk about such important issues and even a platform for that we're just so grateful for it. So appreciate all your time. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.